Nelsonville-York Buckeyes traveled to Alexander to finish up their regular season against the Spartans. It was senior night for Alexander, and their 5 seniors were honored before the game. The Buckeyes hoped to spoil the celebrations when the game began. Nelsonville-York was keyed into the fact that to beat Alexander, you need to stop Kyler DiAugustino. The Buckeyes implied a box-and-one at the beginning of the game, with senior Leighton Logie following Kyler wherever he went. The Buckeyes were able to slow down the Spartan guard and keep things close through the first quarter, going into the second down 3, 13-10. In the second quarter, the game was scrappy with both teams playing defense to a T. DiAugustino had multiple steals and dunks, but he wasn't to be outshined by Keegan Swope, who had himself 6 steals in the first half. Logie also had himself a half with 12 points on 6 of 7 shooting from the field, while holding DiAugustino to only 12 points in the first half. The Buckeyes would go into the half down 26-28. Once the third quarter began, the scrappiness on defense for both squads continued, as scoring went back and forth when turnovers were not being forced. Nelsonville-York was able to take their first lead of the game going into the fourth with a score of 41-40. This would lead to an entertaining fourth quarter, with both teams fighting back and forth. The game would come down to the wire, as with less than a minute, the score was 49-49, with the Buckeyes having a chance to end it in regulation. But the Spartan defense stepped up and forced the game into overtime. The overtime period began with sloppy possessions from both sides, and the only points scored for Nelsonville-York were 2 free throws by Leighton Logie. The Spartans also only had 2 free throw makes from Kyler DiAugustino, leading to a second overtime. Early in the second overtime, the Buckeyes took a 4-point lead, but Zach Barnhouse would not be denied as he put in this putback. Sloppiness on offense and missed shots led to a 5-point Spartan lead that was insurmountable as the Buckeyes fell 63-56. There is much to be proud of for Nelsonville-York fans, as guard Keegan Swope had 21 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 7 steals in the loss. They were also able to hold DiAugustino to 18 points and no scoring in the fourth quarter. Nelsonville-York will take on a familiar opponent in the first round of the playoffs as they host the Wellston Golden Rockets on February 21st in Ben Wagner Gymnasium. For Hardwood Heroes, I'm Dylan Westmeyer, reminding you to be heroic.